Hutton Orbital Radio News. Tune in every Thursday and get the horn.
Oh, bugger. I forgot I was supposed to do that in English, not reading it again. So it's time for him to say
Our mics are, very possibly, live. Good evening, and welcome to Hutton Orbital Radio News. And we're here to welcome someone back.
Is it the apology officer?
Nope.
Is it Palantir?
Nope.
It's not Mr. Dusty.
No one wants him back.
Ooh, how about Book Naked?
Nope, he's been arrested.
Oh, is it me?
Do you know what? It just might be. So I suppose now it's time for the headlines. Mike Rochburns is back.
LCU and his search for biological intelligence.
The news you've been waiting for, broken specially by me.
Arresting developments at the Federation.
I win everything.
And I investigate the case of the missing skull.
I can't believe you're trying to make me work out the BGS again. I can't make head nor tail of this. So bugger off and do the news or something.
First this evening, we are happy to announce that following a number of weeks of filtration, centrifugation, gentle whisking until he formed stiff peaks, and being applied to a dense substrate until he pulled himself together, oh my goodness, hit me with that, Mike Rochburns, also sometimes known as Little Grey, has now mostly been returned to his old self. Regular listeners will recall that Little Grey was involuntarily liquidated from his previous position, but has now been successfully reintegrated into the human race from his most recent position as human waste. Well, what else could we describe the semi-sentient glop in a bucket as? In a configuration approximating his previous topology. He has resumed his application process for new positions here at the orbital, though due to some linguistic hangovers from last week, he's had a little difficulty making himself understood. At the Hutton Job Centre, when asked what position he would like, replying "blurg job," gained him an almost immediate interview over at Wanders. Mrs. Little Grey was less than impressed when she found out, as he knows that Thursdays are her evening off for a massage from Sven. Asked if he had any particular skill sets, apparently earned him a visit to the office of floor mopping guy, who, misunderstanding the visit, gave him a quick going over with a plunger until his capacity for English returned. It does appear that his previous experience, however, with the massive orange snakes in the power department and his expansive knowledge of little yellow beepy cars might be taking him in the direction of the Hutton Waste of Space department. I'm sorry, I'm not wearing the right glasses, the Hutton Waste In-Space Department, a highly specialised team of operatives whose job it is to design and remotely pilot the various vessels scouring Alpha Centauri for destroyed ships to bring back to the mug manufacturing department. Seen as the second most important job in Hutton mug creation, the first being, of course, whoever it is that renders the ships into their disassembled forms, and the third being the panel beaters who whack them into their familiar Skyforge shape and then apply handles either way up. The H-Wizzed team are the cornerstone of the continued production of one of the galaxy's most popular rares. As such, we wish him well, and just in case he remembers any of the last 2 weeks, we've got him an ornamental bucket and wish him...
AI, artificial intelligence, thinking machines. To some, complete oafs. To those who have been in cryosleep for quite a few centuries, the kind of thing that gives you flashback to toasters trying to kill you and decision-making systems concluding that the best place for humans is in small jars on a shelf. In short, they're banned. Want to make your own C-3PO or HAL 9000? Well, good luck with that. You'll get cancelled faster than a federal Supreme Court judge who dares do anything sensible like prevent the federal president spitting his dummy in tariff form. The Alliance, however, on the anniversary week of the end of the AI wars a few centuries ago, which ended with the news that artificial intelligence was banned, have been debating the topic noisily. This all stemmed from the recent increasingly enthusiastic success of Canon interstellar researcher LCU No Fool Like One's work in biological pattern neural cognition. Regular listeners will be aware that No Fool Like One, widely regarded within Canon as a leading authority on cognitive substrate architecture, and, more recently, a cautionary tale about publishing before lunchtime, has for some time been investigating the cultivation and structuring of biologically derived neural matter for adaptive machine interfaces. What started with a thought experiment on whether wasp brains would make better hired SLF fighter pilots than the queue of unwashed and dodgily chauffeured individuals available for hire at stations, to bee-controlled limpets, social media intern-controlled camera drones, and onward to complex systems while docking controller brains grown from cabbages. LCU has maintained that given that the underlying structure of his biological computers is grown from real cells and not drawn on teeny tiny little pieces of silicon or crystal matrices, it's not artificial. It's natural, organic, like free-range chickens, which apparently make excellent controller systems for surface mining rigs. The argument put forward by the Alliance is one of semantics. What does artificial actually mean? And if it's not called artificial, is it really banned at all? Modern life in space is almost entirely enabled by computers. Computers that can do vast amounts of calculations far faster than you or I can. Computers that warn you when you're under attack, or your friendship drive is charging. Computers that, when fitted with tracks and a broom attachment, plus a new grabby arms that, can mostly competently say, "Give me your trash," and tidy up behind you and in front of you, and sometimes just you. In the race for dominance between the galactic powers, given that the definition of AI isn't absolutely clear, and what is clear is that everyone's using rather smart computers, whether they're LCU style grown from life or printed on teensy-tiny little circuit boards, it comes down to simply labeling it differently and you get around the ban, at least before the Empire do. Or Federation, or that independent pirate dude. What they have frowned upon, of course, is LTU's application to use Thargoid tissue in one of his experiments. I mean, that would be bad.
I have breaking news for everyone. Hot off the press. I'm holding it with tongs as it's so hot it's smoking. Tickets for this year's biggest, best, brightest...
Vulgarius.
Wait, you didn't say I had a line in anyone else's article? Give me a moment to scroll.
Seamless.
He did.
Redo from start. Redo from start.
Right. I have breaking news for everyone. Hot off the press. I'm holding it with tongs as it's so hot it's smoking. Tickets for this year's biggest, best, brightest...
Only.
Yes, only Elite Commanders Gathering. The ECM event are now available through all reliable outlets.
You mean the website?
Yes, the ECM website at elitecommunitymeet.info.
But what does one get with their ticket?
Get to come along and join in and have fun and play games and raise money for charity. It's over at the Village Hotel in Coventry, that's in the UK, once again this year, slightly later as we've moved it to September the 5th. Prices are the same. It's the best way to get to know fellow commanders, kick back with some Elite, or racing, or board games, or retro, so much retro, or meet me. Anyway, ECM tickets are now available, as is the link to booking hotel rooms. Details are on the website and we will be pasting into chat as well. Your choices are just come along and also have lunch, or come along and have lunch and dinner. There will be shenanigans on the Friday night as well while everyone else is building up for the event, and most likely more shenanigans after it finishes until the security make us lock up for the night. We'd love to see you there, and as usual, we'll be raising for special effects and hearing dogs. It's an even put on by all of us, and I don't just mean just us, I mean us as a community, for each other. So turn up, get stuck in, and we look forward to seeing you in September.
Several senior figures within federal political circles are finding themselves the subject of increasingly pointed questions, mostly following the words, "You have the right to remain silent," following the emergence of evidence that restricted governmental briefing materials, the sort normally circulated only to cleared committee members and those defence contractors trusted not to immediately monetise it, appear to have been discussed in what participants are now describing as purely social settings, with a private off-world financier whose subsequent investment record displays what analysts have called statistically aggressive good fortune. The individual concerned, industrial magnate Jasper T. Vellum, has for some years demonstrated a remarkable tendency to acquire shipping lanes, extraction rights and logistic hubs in regions which, shortly thereafter, experience federal infrastructure designation, Navy patrol reinforcement, or colonisation incentives. A pattern long attributed to market instinct, commercial vision, and being unusually lucky on purpose. Recent document disclosures, however, indicate that several legislators, including members of the Trade Harmonisation and Frontier Development Committees, attended restricted sessions outlining precisely such forthcoming developments during the same period in which Vellum-linked entities were establishing positions in those sectors. Positions later liquidated at considerable profit once the federal activity became public and the asset values rose. These legislators have been confirmed acquaintances with Vellum, describing him as a family friend, philanthropic associate, and someone occasionally encounters on private orbital platforms. while firmly stating that no classified information was disclosed and that any overlap between federal planning and Vellum investment activity is entirely coincidental. Investigators are nevertheless examining whether the sharing of high-level directional context, while not technically constituting operational disclosure, may have conveyed sufficient awareness to enable what financial observers describe as confident anticipation, particularly when conveyed during informal briefings, advisory conversations, or when what one witness termed that thing where someone waves a star map and says, "This bit's about to get interesting." Several holding companies associated with Vellum have already been dissolved. 2 federal aides have resigned, citing administrative misunderstandings, and Vellum himself has departed federal space on a previously scheduled philanthropic tour of systems without extradition arrangements. Here at Hutton, Truckers Cooperative representatives note that advanced knowledge of where federal investments and patrol protection will occur would indeed make trade positioning substantially less risky, while also noting that in the absence of the Apology Office briefings, the only forward intelligence available to Hutton pilots remains probably fine or definitely on fire. Buckneked of Lake and Scapeways has abandoned plans to begin sharing Hutton confidential expansion projections with himself in order to achieve competitive advantage, as it is understood to have failed after he sold his own slot before claiming it. If you possess restricted federal development projections, please remember, discussing them socially with billionaires is strongly discouraged unless you are very certain nobody is recording, especially if your name contains the word Andy.
Following the usual outbreak of alarm across the galactic forums regarding the early ARC's availability of the Kestrel Mark II, Hutton Orbital News feels obliged to pose the traditional and entirely reasonable opening question.
Norma! Flossy!
Seamless.
Sorry, is it? Oh, there. Oh, win what exactly?
Because, as veteran pilots will be aware, the galaxy does not presently contain a victory condition. There is no finish line, no final boss, no scoreboard, no trophy presentation, and outside certain racing circuits and the occasional heated docking queue, no universally recognised mechanism by which one commander may be declared to have won the galactic enterprise of independent piloting. Nevertheless, the arrival of any new hull purchasable slightly earlier by those with disposable income reliably produces claims that such access constitutes an I win button, a device presumed to confer immediate and overwhelming superiority upon its owner, presumably causing nearby ships to explode in awe. Historically, this has not occurred. The reason is simple. In practice, ships in the galaxy are not powerful because they are new or expensive or shiny, but because they have been engineered, flown competently, and configured with intent, processes which ARCS does not accelerate, automate, or purchase. A freshly acquired premium hull, however modern, remains a stock ship. Okay, so you can buy one with a few goodies on it and a ship kit, but a stock ship remains, in most circumstances, a moderately capable collection of modules awaiting improvement. It does not, by virtue of payment, acquire engineering materials, flight skill, tactical judgment, or the ability to keep its canopy intact. Veteran commanders flying older, thoroughly engineered vessels therefore continue to outperform new unengineered hulls in the same reliable manner observed during every previous early release cycle. The practical advantage conferred by ARC's access is thus limited to temporal positioning, the ability to begin experimentation, fitting and eventual engineering slightly earlier than those waiting for credit release, which is to say, impatience has been monetized, power has not. Forum discourse nevertheless tends to imagine the most extreme hypothetical case, a highly skilled combat pilot in a fully optimized engineered build operating the new hull at peak efficiency. Such individuals do exist. They are also the same individuals who would be equally effective in a variety of existing ships, already available to all commanders, and whose performance derives primarily from pilot competence rather than hull novelty. In short, the early access Kestrel Mark II does not enable victory. It enables earlier ownership. Those are not the same thing. Here at Hutton, Truckers There's a comma. Why is there a comma? Here at Hutton Truckers Cooperative. Who wrote this? Representatives note that any ship...
No, it's correct. Here at Hutton. Truckers Cooperative Representative. Yeah, definitely correct.
God, it's just Hutton Truckers. Jesus Christ. I wondered what the plural apostrophe was doing there. Oh, well. Right, here at Hutton, Truckers Cooperative Representatives note that any ship capable of guaranteeing success would have been acquired long ago, preferably second-hand and with a mug rack installed. Until such a vessel appears, commanders are reminded that outcomes in space continue to be determined by preparation, engineering, and the long-standing galactic tradition of knowing which end of the ship... you've ended that sentence with a preposition. No. Knowing out of which end the ship the danger comes. There we go.
Seamless.
Picky.
You just wait. Also this evening, the perplexing, piratical, and previously purchasable pirate skull ship decal has been located. Please don't change my spelling. I did that on purpose. I've lost where I was. Oh no! The ship decal has been located following a recent and rather puzzling disappearance from the galactic stores, where it had until very recent or very lately been reliably resident, readily redeemable, and reassuringly applicable to hulls of a suitably skull-supportive disposition, and by a particular subset of commanders who prefer their vessels to project an aura of swashbuckling menace rather than insurance-compliant respectability. The skull, traditionally selected by privateers, pirates, plunderers, posers, and the occasional perfectly polite pilot seeking the most modest cosmetic suggestion of lawless intent, has for some time occupied a prominent position within the decorative catalogue, its stark skeletal symmetry lending itself equally to intimidation or simple aesthetic enthusiasm for bone-based branding. Its absence was first noted by Commander Snuffler. Yes, that one. Please don't shoot. A pilot widely recognized for fastidious familiarity with the finer points of shipboard styling, and therefore precisely the sort of individual to perceive with prompt and pierce perception the sudden non-presence of a previously persistent piratical pictogram. Commander Snuffler duly reported the skull conspicuously missing from its customary catalogue position, the vacancy immediately apparent to any decal discerning observer accustomed to its reliable residency among the more flamboyant insignia, sigils, and semi-threatening symbology favoured by those wishing their ships to suggest danger without necessarily delivering it. A source within the Pilots Federation said,
apparently it wanted to go off and explore the galaxy on its own, but we persuaded it to come back.
Oh, it's gone to Distant Worlds 3. The decal has since been securely restored to stock. Screens and surfaces around the core systems, none of the worse the wear for its wanderings, whims, or waywardness, and commanders inclined towards piratical presentation may once again affix skeletal symbolism to their ships with confidence that their chosen emblem remains present, purchasable, and properly positioned.
I say, That was awfully good, you know, considering last week you were in a bucket. Anyway, somebody's written it down for me this week. Oh, God, it's a lot of words. Yeah. So, for commanders operating within the Hutton influence space and wondering why some systems feel perfectly normal, while other ones appear to be on fire, rioting, or quietly falling apart, we, that means I, present a brief guide to what's going on in Hutton space. Hang on one second for the mug. Now, regular pilots are the one who have the plenty of fibre, will be aware that the background simulation, that's invisible but extremely opinionated layer of galactic bureaucracy determining whether a system is booming, sulking, or throwing things, occasionally expresses itself through a number of officially recognized states, several of which are presently active across Hutton territories. For the mug. For example, commanders visiting Stein, that's a wonderful drinking vessel, 2051, might have just noticed the presence of war, which is the traditional method by which two factions resolve administrative disagreement by shooting at each other until they get bored. It might be worth a little bit of a visit to help out. Meanwhile, in Midgecut, currently experiencing civil unrest, the population has entered the phase of governance, it's a very long word that, you know, in which large numbers of citizens conclude that the authority has become totally unsatisfactory, like this gin, it's empty. Bugger it. And begin expressing this view through protests, I protest strongly, disruption, and the occasional enthusiastic vandalism of anything labelled official. Trade does remain possible, mainly when I want to buy a drink, though pilots are advised that deliveries might be received by people waving banners. Commanders passing through the wise Oh My God system will encounter an outbreak. It's 0855, I can't see the numbers. Anyway, meaning local medical infrastructure is under strain due to widespread illness. Traffic does tend a little bit towards relief supplies, pharmaceuticals, where's the paracetamol? I've got a hangover, and worried-looking haulers with masks on. Of particular note this week is Wolf 359, presently enjoying a state of infrastructure failure, in which critical systems responsible for the plumbing have stopped doing so in an orderly manner. Visitors might observe degraded services, logistical disruption, and the sort of engineering activity normally accompanied by phrases like temporary bypass, should hold, and oh bugger, don't touch that. Elsewhere, as usual, numerous Hutton systems are experiencing boom, the economic condition in which everything is going unusually well. Markets are lively and credits flow with suspicious enthusiasm. Commanders will find strong trade, generous missions, and a general sense that somewhere someone has made a spreadsheet very happy. In summary, Hutton Space currently offers a full spectrum of gin and whiskey and beer and wine and galactic civic experience, prosperity, protests, plague, war, and things breaking unexpectedly, often within a few jumps of each other. Anyway, this has been Cecil's guide to local conditions in Hutton Space this week. If your destination is on fire, rioting, or missing essential structural components, please do remember, it's not personal, it's the BGS.
He's gone for a lie down after that bit. That was unusually long for Cecil. He's normally passed out by the second sentence. Anyway, hello
to go
everybody.
get another drink. Hello.
Hello. It was a banter button. Let's click a banter button. Oh no, that's stopped working. Hello everybody. So we've had a bunch of people over on the ECM Discord trying to work out when to set their clocks for so they don't miss the announcement. I've just messaged them all to say you missed it. And they're most put out that we didn't tell them first. But anyway, Flossy.
Yes.
ECM.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hang on a second. We've already got one person saying, "Oh dear, why is it cheaper without the voucher code?" And I'm going to have to reply. Hang on a second. Did you read the opening paragraph on the ticket booking site? Question.
Of course they didn't, because that said, please note it's cheaper without the voucher code.
I'm just going to cut.
Well,
yeah, explain that one while I just go and cut and paste that, shall I?
Yes,
here we go.
For the listener, it is currently cheaper because it's way in advance and there are approximately no rooms booked in the hotel, so it's dirt cheap. As time goes by and people book up the rooms, they will get more and more expensive. Except with our voucher code, they won't. So yeah, it's, 90 quid a night if you book through the code we supplied. If you shop around a bit and you're a member of their discount scheme, you can get the same room with the same breakfast for about a tenner a night less. And if you're not interested in breakfast or you're not interested in the gym, you can get another £5 or so off that as well.
The reason for doing it is that you're all very eager, and by the time the first 20 of you have booked your hotel rooms, hotels, as you know, have a habit of inflating their prices. What do they call it? Surge pricing? Isn't it what it's called?
I imagine by the end of this stream, it will be way more expensive. And then it might settle again because we've all gone online and we've all bought us hotel rooms and it's gone completely mad.
So the very first thing you can read on the ticket booking form is we have a booking code with the hotel, which you will see at the end of this booking form. The code guarantees a maximum cost on the room, but if via discount, booking site, membership points or hand wavium you can get it cheaper, then please book direct if you get a better price.
I did have to read that sentence twice to understand hand wavium.
Well, I did also put unobtainium in the final page as well.
No, that's dinner in the evening, but that was only last year. It's been fixed, honest. That was internet in the room last year.
Hang on a second. Somebody says, I can't book the entire family suite. Now, there's a reason for that, because they've got a limited number of family suites, and if I put the family suites on general sale, what happens is all the greedy buggers, a bit like with dinner last year, steal all the sausages, and then there are no family rooms left for the actual families who are going to be there. So anybody booking family rooms, best bet is give me a shout, and then what I do is I get Helen to turn it on, then immediately message you and go, book it now, and then you nab the family room. So, yes, lots of things. Anyway, Flossy.
Yeah.
Right, so ECM. I mean, I don't know whether we've got any listeners who've not been or don't know what it is or are bored yet of hearing about it, and you did tell us a little bit, but we just basically take over one corner of a hotel, or most of a hotel, fill it with elite commanders, and open the bar. That's about it, isn't it?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So what, can anybody mention sort of highlights that there were last year? Anything particular you got up to?
It was a great bar.
Great bar, yes.
See, there was
you could actually get to the bar.
You could, yeah. The bar was really well stocked and really well serviced and very reasonably priced. But there was tons of retro, and there were loads of board games, and there were people to chat to, and every different variety of Elite you could possibly imagine, and lots of retro.
Plus the original Elite redone in VR by a student.
Oh, that was...
Yeah.
I didn't get to play with it, but it looked amazing.
Yeah. And there were people there with VR headsets of various different types and varieties, and there was loads of retro stuff. And we had a band in the evening, and there was retro, and...
Oh, Xboxes. We had Xboxes and Steam Decks and people showing off how they used them and things, and it's their fault I own one again.
Ha ha.
I regret nothing.
What else did we do? Well, there was the racing, the multiplayer racing, which was 6. We had 2 Starship bridges, where you could command with a team of 6 people. Starship bridges. What else did we have? We had a band. Can't promise that this year because obviously it's all community led, but we're working on some fun for the evening. We had Hutton Orbital live with a remote Amelia.
And apology officer.
And an apology officer.
And we had the devs, not devs.
We had with the not there officially devs, yes, which was Dav and Roger and Dom.
Still got the PlayStation.
And we had Dockers, my goodness, Dockers live, yes. Now, they had
remind me. I mean,
the
thought
price,
you said highlights.
Yeah, the prices have all been
voice
kept the same. But they have refurbished all the bedrooms, so they're doing that, or they're doing that at the moment. They're about a third of the way through refurbishing at the moment, but that'll be done before the summer. So bedrooms are refurbished.
We must admit we don't know what that means. We don't know if that means they're all going to have air conditioning or not. But
a lick of paint.
With it being September, it
we're
will be hopefully
slightly
a bit cooler.
later. Yes,
Matching colour schemes.
matching colour schemes. New bedspreads and a lick of paint, I suspect. What else? See, last year we had the main room and one side room officially, and we may have expanded to take up all of the rooms. Unofficially. This year they've said, no, you can have them all in the same price. So they've officially given us all the rooms, the side rooms. Now, there is another event on at the same time.
Really? Where?
In the V Works, in the other half of the hotel. So I don't know how big that is or whether there's going to be competition for rooms or not, but we do have an allocation. The allocation's enough around half of you, and then we'll try and top it up as we go. This is the allocation on that code, and then we just try and top it up as we get closer to the event, as we use it up, just so not, we can't tell the hotel we're going to have all the rooms and then leave them hanging, even though they know we're not going to leave them hanging. But we'll keep that topped up, and basically just turn up and have good fun. And
you will. It is good fun.
Yes, and the website address, Amelia.
The website, I know where it is. The website address is elitecommunitymeet.info.
And how might one buy tickets on that website? What do you click?
Well, let me go to the website and find out.
There's a hint. There's an important word there. To buy tickets, there's a word you click.
Tickets.
That's the one.
There is also a fun typo on that page. It says it's on the 5th.
This is the Persian rug. There's always one deliberate mistake. Now, people say, but what's the hotel booking code? Well, to make sure you've actually booked your tickets, unlike the 2 people who booked hotel rooms and forgot to get tickets last year to actually come to the event, you get the code, the discount code. The booking code for our event at the end of the booking process. But as we said at the start of this conversation, if you can get it cheaper by being a member or finding a booking.com offer or whatever you can do, get it cheaper. We only put that code on so the price doesn't surge and get really expensive. So that you don't have to book by that, you can book it yourself. Same as you don't have to get lunch and dinner, they're there if you'd like to get them. Now, have I forgotten anything there? I think I have.
No. Well, probably.
You might want to explain how payment works.
No, Volcarius. You have an announcement to make. Or actually, your alter ego, your rather butch alter ego, appears to have an announcement to make.
You're not actually going to play that at half speed, are you?
Well, no, I might start playing it at that speed just simply because it makes me laugh.
Fair.
And then I might have to restart it. So, Volcarius, last year you brought some special VR. You had a bit of For the Mug in Beat Saber. and other bits and pieces.
It's still one of my favourite maps.
If you haven't tried For the Mug on Beat Saber, and you do have an Oculus device, then
or on PC, you can. In fact, it's even easier on PC. But yeah, if you can actually go to beatsaver.com. That's with a V.
With a V, yes.
So you can search for the Mug. There is an original one made by Dead Meat GF. And mine has his original lighting, but with an entirely remade beat map, which flows a lot more.
So that is on Beat Saver. Can we see if we can get a direct link to that? Is there a hang on a second? Beat Saver. Let's have a look, and I'm going to try and find it and see if there's a link so I can put it in the chat for the Mug. Commander Valkyrius is For the Mug. Here we go. Let's. Maps, your 48CD5. How about that? That could be you.
That is correct.
Yep. So here is how to get the For the Mug Hutton theme tune Beat Saver, and that is likely to be around as well. But let's play Mr. Valkyrius. You just have to listen to this, okay? Let me hit go on this one.
Good evening, Commanders. This is Commander Valkyrius coming to you from the newly built HIP 100.067 system.
Right, okay, that's enough of that, Valkyrius. I think what I need to do is put that playing at the proper speed. So let's
play us out.
Found out that Valkyrius is actually Stargoid. Who knew?
Hang on, let's try this one.
Good evening, Commanders. This is Commander Valkyrius coming to you from the newly built HIP 100.067 system. Doubtless you all know by now.
Somebody has given him some performance enhancers of some sort, and hang on, let's go back to the normal. My hand slipped.
That was one of the server room hamsters. That one,
or chipmunk, whichever. Yeah. Right, here we go. Here's the real thing. Here you are, Valkyrius.
Good evening, Commanders. This is Commander Valkyrius coming to you from the newly built HIP 100.067 system. Doubtless you all know by now, the Elite Community Meet will be on later this year of 3312, on the 5th of September, in fact, and I'm here to announce a new treat at the top of the toy box for everyone to enjoy. Through the cosmic power of Banter Linux, a USB storage drive, some infrared lights, and the retro shooter RS3 Reaper, both of them with wide-angle lens attachments, I'll be bringing along and setting up our very own light gun arcade. Well, the conference room edition with the monitor on the wall, but hey, works for the Starship Bridge simulator, so I'm calling dibs on a desk or two to deploy the toys and let two-player teams of commanders have at it. I have all of my personal favourites from the arcades, including the non-too-serious, family-friendly, and played way too much on the Dreamcast as a student, Confidential Mission.
There he is. Oh no! Look!
The comically serious Special Forces Squad Sim, which got an eventual Wii release, Ghost Squad.
Remember, you're the Ghost Squad. Don't leave any traces behind. Enemies are everywhere. Down the road. Charge.
As well as the waist-high cover classic arcade fan favourite, which no light gun gallery would be complete without. Okay, maybe Duck Hunt isn't that, but 21 did name drop a few games from the NES era, and I did get them working, including Operation Wolf and Operation Thunderbolt. Seriously though, I eventually managed to get PlayStation 2 titles working, and that means we have the terrific and timeless Time Crisis 2. And Time Crisis 3. That's all for this feature announcement, at least for now. If you have a light gun rail shooter arcade classic you'd like to see at ECM, albeit with no promises I'll be able to get it working, let us know during Hutton Orbital Live or in the ECM thread on the Frontier Forum, and I'll see what I can do. Until then, 07, hail the Empress, and for the mug.
Are you okay?
Let's get out of here.
Good evening, Commanders. This is...
Right, there we go. It went on a loop.
Well, I know what I'm doing most of Saturday then.
Yes, so that's a new treat. We've got to work out which room we're going to put that one in. Whether it's that same room, or the longer room, or the retro room, or the big room, or the little room, or something. But there'll be a room. It'll be there. What we might do is move the retro and put it in the main room. We'll see. But yes, there will be, thank you, Volcarius, some light gun related shenanigans. Is this 1 or 2 player?
That is 2 player.
Whoa! Is it 4 player? No, 2 player.
Some console releases do actually support 4 player, but classically they're all 2 player.
We can put it in the bar behind the bar staff, right? on a projector behind the bar staff, and we can sit there shooting towards all the bottles at the back of the bar. But well, that's a new one for this year. Let's put the other video back up again. You have to excuse me coughing occasionally. I seem to have acquired plague from 21 Junior. Question from Commander Toledo: do we get breakfast with the room code?
I believe so.
Yes,
I mean, I did. If not, then I stole it last year, but I'm pretty sure we do. So.
You do, yeah.
And you also get inclusive gym access as well for the pool and the gym and the jacuzzi and everything on any day you're staying. So it comes with breakfast and the gym access. Leisure access, whatever you want to call it. So
Gym and pool.
Gym and pool and jacuzzi. The jacuzzi was so good last year. I definitely went and soaked the day afterwards for about an hour in the jacuzzi.
I was going to say, you did your back in, didn't you? You messed yourself up big time.
Loading
for
the
a
van
change.
up. Yeah. So in terms of the event itself, it's put on, as Flossy said earlier, it's put on by us. That doesn't mean it's put on by us here in the radio studio. It's put on by us as a community. Everybody who's there gets stuck in and does something. Yeah, you can just turn up and enjoy your day, but one of the very best ways to enjoy your day is turn up and get stuck in. This is not a commercial event where a company puts it on and takes all the money and entertains you. It's all about everybody getting stuck in and having fun with what you want to be doing. And if it's not there, a bit like with Volcarius and his light gun, you bring it along and you do it as well. So on the booking form, there is an option saying, I really want to bring along insert item here, or do insert item here. So there's some guys that bring along some of the Steam Decks, including with some of the little goggles that come with them and some screens and all sorts, and they end up showing off Multiplayer Elite running on Steam Decks. There's a chap who comes along with loads of touchscreen consoles and plays Elite with touchscreen consoles. There are people who bring their retro treasures along and show off, the C64s and the Spectrums and of this world. Or there are people who bring a racing wheel because they've got one kicking around that they don't use often enough, and they bring it along to come and join the racing.
I remember last year it was Robert Maynard, who anyone on the forum might know him. He had a whole tablet with a whole UI made for doing like the landing gear, and they're just all.
Oh, it was incredible, wasn't it?
All the ship functions were just on this separate. Like he'd kind of built himself a little ship station.
Absolutely. I mean, Beetlejude of art fame comes along and shows off many, many arty things, whether that's drawing, painting, sculpting, or basically being a lot more artistic than the rest of us combined. we do have musicians. We always try and put together the Hutton Mayhem Band, which is basically, it's not quite open mic, but we had Tokuso the last couple of times as well. And those in the audience with any talent for anything musical, plus LCU, came and joined us for the evening entertainments and put on a bit of a musical interlude for us in the evenings, which is spectacular. So it's not a hired band; it's an opportunity. If you've got some talent and you want to get up on stage, then we've got ECM's Got Talent. Whether you can sing,
send us your mixtape or your sample tracks, and we'll stick them on the air or something.
Psykit and Tokuso on vocals. We had Katie Chaos on bass. We had a man in his techno shed on all sorts of keyboards and bits and bobs. But there's a whole pile of people with a lot of talent say, well, I wouldn't mind getting up in front of the audience and doing some performance. Yeah, basically, the event is there. If you want to do it, you get in touch and we find you space so you can do it, show it, bring it, whatever, share it that you want to be doing. Hanky and his chess. Somebody wants to host, as Amelia did a couple of years ago, a game of Traveller, wasn't it? You hosted, Amelia.
Yeah.
Was it a couple of years ago you did that?
2024.
Yeah. And then for remote access, because obviously there are people who can't get there, whether that's through distance or personal reasons or health, can't physically be there at the event. We do also include people remotely, including last year and the year before, Paige from Special Effect, who was fighting people on a remote terminal in the bar. We had Amelia, you were on stage and taking part in the live streaming to the stage while we were doing the live stuff. But if you can't be there and you want to be involved as well, pop into the Discord, get in touch, and then off you go. People still saying they're confused.
That's fairly normal for Hutton truckers, though, isn't it?
Yes. Hang on a second. People say, I'm really confused because it says I can book from the Friday to the Monday on the hotel website. Yes, you can.
You can if you want to stay that long.
You select Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and it'll be those two nights. It says
or
how
you
many
just
nights.
Select the days that you want.
Yes.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
Yeah, well, basically, international travellers. We do get people from Europe. We've had people from the US and Canada come across in previous years, and they didn't want to have to sort of check out or pay greatly inflated rates on the Sunday night after the event finishes. So what we've done is extended our special offer to include the Sunday in case anybody travelling internationally or feels like stopping over and using the gym wants to stay the extra night. That does not mean when you book the hotel you have to stay on the Sunday night. It's just in case you want. To stop you getting fleeced by, what do they call it, surge pricing. Right, I know
if you're showing up on Saturday and you don't have a designated driver and you just want the one night, that works too. You just pay the part.
Or on the Friday and you're going home after we finish after Dockers because you're crying and want to escape from it, then yeah, you can do. Or like, the Frontier dev team who run away to go and do really important things like run D&D nights on the Saturday.
They should do it at ECM.
I have there, definitely. But it's a regular many years running group that I'm not sure is compatible with our audience, shall we say?
They're welcome. They're welcome.
Yeah, and I mean, other than that, if you want to help, get in touch. We always do need more volunteers. So Lithobreaker is nominally sort of in charge of the internet, which we have fixed.
We hope. We believe.
Yeah,
we have tested. It worked when tested. That's all we can say.
Escaped from his bucket. But everybody joins in. Everybody lends a hand. But if you particularly want a job to do, or you find the best way to meet people is actually come and do something or host something, that is a really good way to meet people. Or if you suffer from a little bit of I don't know anybody there and I'm anxious about just sort of grabbing people and saying hi, having something to do, a task or whatever where you're hosting something is a fantastic way to meet people, because people come up and introduce themselves and say, hi, I'm 21, you must be, because we've named you, Lithobreaker, can I have a go with, or like Volcarius, can I have a go with the duck hunt? It's a wonderful way, if you're hosting something, to meet lots of people you wouldn't otherwise know as well. So
Yeah,
That's how I got to know Vulcarius.
Yeah, well, except for Amelia. Amelia bites, but not often.
No, that's
Only
mooncake.
sometimes.
If
Only
you
with
ask her
permission.
nicely, she might.
Yes,
Yeah, consent is everything.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Right, I suppose we better move along on being. So we're being a little bit. What's oh dear, they're debating in the ECM channel about whether they have to sell their soul in order to get there. No, it's not necessary.
No, it's is that becoming a member of the Hotel Points Club? Do they
Yes.
require the soul when you firstborn?
Yeah. I have got confirmation, though, that this year we've managed not to melt the booking system, and it is sending out confirmations.
Yeah, although I have had a payment reminder 24 hours after I paid. Not from the hotel, that's from you.
Okay, that's possibly when you did pay direct.
Yeah, probably.
Probably because I've not marked it as paid, because I was running around getting everything ready. Right. So on that note,
really?
have Frontier done a live stream talking all about ECM?
A what stream?
A dead stream. Sorry, not a live stream.
I mean, the answer's the same. It's still no.
It's still no.
They have released a ship, so it's not like it's been completely dead.
Okay,
I must admit, I completely agree with you. It's a Quinjet, is what they've made.
I said that last week, and nobody even blinked when I said it. No.
It's because it's entirely true. There's no argument. It's a Quinjet. It
is definitely from the Avengers.
The bucket went bloop.
The bucket went bloop. What, you mean like this?
That's the one, yeah.
Well, that's when you were telling us about the other 5 ships that are coming.
Oh, yes, redacted. Yeah.
Redacted, yes.
Yes.
Well, just for the benefit of Little Grey, hang on a sec. Let's see if I can.
I watched the stream back. I did see it.
Here we
it's
go.
a beautiful looking ship.
It is.
Now, from the front, it kind of looks as if it could be inspired by stuff like the F-35 fighter jets and things in terms of its.
A little bit.
Obviously, it's more hunched, but it's a lovely thing.
I think it's inspired by a plesiosaur.
Yeah,
I did hear that, and then I had to go and remind myself what a plesiosaur looked like. As did everybody else on the stream that night, I think.
Well, it's like Dippy the Diplodocus with flippers, isn't it? No.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
I think on that dead stream, they did actually say it was half inspired by modern fighters.
Yeah.
You can definitely see it. It's got things like the, I don't know, I'm going to get aviation geeky here, not sorry. It's got things like the cheat lines. So the idea that you've got a hard line all the way along the outer edge or the wide edge of the aircraft, the idea being that you effectively bounce the radar signals away from where it's being transmitted. And you can definitely see that from the sort of nose of the aircraft. It goes around all the wings and all the way around. You have this solid line all the way around, almost like the aircraft is 2 segments stuck together.
That's just where they 3D print the models in game.
I wouldn't need a scene, though.
I can't speak for anyone else, but I'm really looking forward to the one that they model on the Morganucodon.
What's that, a biplane?
Allow me to Google that. Hang on.
Morganucodon.
Right. Oh, the Morganucodon.
I've been...
An early mammal with unique characteristics.
Yes.
I mean, it's not far off.
It's a little rat.
It is very little.
The name comes from the Latinization of Morganuk, the name for South Glamorgan.
Mm-hmm.
Which was named in the Doomsday Book. Anyway, yes.
That little
you're getting sidetracked.
I have gone down a rabbit hole looking at small furry things. I better stop.
That sounds very dangerous. Maybe
I'm glad I could help.
Oh, by the way, ECM this year is also my birthday party, with a 0 on the end of it.
Excellent.
I might just chuck that in there. Yes, I might be hitting a milestone birthday. I'll be 21 again with a 0 on the end.
You're 210 years old.
210. Yes, Methuselah. But yes, okay. So there's no Frontier Dead streams. In fact, the only thing the devs have posted this week, other than the fact that they launched the ship, was about the decal. It was actually honestly true. Commander Snuffler did point out that his skull pirate decal, because he is a piratey type, was missing, and pleased when they put it back, and they promptly put it back again and said it had gone off wandering. It's the same symbol as when you go to some of the pirate outposts, is sort of in a hologram in red circling over the top of the outpost. That one, you know. Okay, do we have, I didn't even look, do we have any space news this week?
Indeed we do.
Can I, a quick diversion. I, for some reason, have completely missed a TV show that I've just been watching, which is For All Mankind. Has anybody seen For All Mankind?
No.
It's on the list, but no, not yet.
What service does it use?
It uses the fruit-flavoured one. With the bite taken out of it. It is
ITV.
4 series of this, and the first series is set at the time with the Apollo 11 launch. And it's gone all the way through up until the 1980s now. I think I'm on season 2. But it covers what happens if Russia got to the moon first and the space race continued and didn't sort of go, we got to the moon, yeah, bollocks, we've stopped now. And it actually ended up being an ongoing competition between the two. It completely marries up with sort of, Reagan coming in and, you know what I mean, and Nixon and all the real historical data. But what they've done is postulated about what would happen if the space race had carried on. Because Russia got there first. And it is absolutely exceptional. It really, really is. And I have no idea
What's it called?
It's called For All Mankind. And they've just announced season 5. And well, if we can't be first on the moon, what are we going to be first with? Well, we'll have the first woman on the moon. Oh, we didn't get first. The Russians got that too, and there are all sorts of things in the 1960s about female astronauts as well. But but also the politics of it, and I have to say, I'm captivated by this program as a fan of space news. You're watching all the launches, and they've spliced in all the real launches that happened. So Apollo 11 and the subsequent missions with fictional story and branched off the timeline into what would happen if, but they've kept all the original footage, and it's compelling viewing. If you're a fan of our space news section, genuinely it's wow, the Saturn rocket and the problems with it and all sorts of things. So I do recommend, if you're a fan of our space news, For All Mankind on Apple. I have no idea how the first 4 seasons completely passed me by.
Kesnick's saying something about it, but I don't understand his words.
For All Mankind.
Kesnick said it was a great show.
And
Kesnick also wanted to be absolutely clear that the great show is For All Mankind, not Hutton Orbital News. I don't think that was in any danger of being misunderstood.
Hutton Orbital is special, and I say special with air commas around it.
Kesnick also says that was meant with love, which means that they definitely love For All Mankind.
We love you too, Kesnick, yes. We love you so much, we're going to go and do some of this, more of this usual, yes.
We're going to mod you out. No, what?
No, we're not. We wouldn't ever mod him. I do object because it's on Apple as well, but I happen to have blagged a free 1-year membership of the Apple thing without paying for it. So, excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. Hang on.
In the meantime, I just booked my ECM ticket and hotel.
Well, that's
given that you promised,
the best if you...
given that you promised to bring the light gun, that's a good thing, yes?
Conceivably.
So. Sorry, if I keep going silent, it's because I've got the sneezels and the snoozles. Okay, I suppose we better do space news. Let's talking about For All Mankind. We're going to tell the rest of mankind that listens to this show all about space news.
Space news.
Space news, space news, space news, space news, space news, space news, space news.
Which one have you chosen to start with, or has it put it behind a paywall?
I've gone with the first one, yes.
So I remember you talked about this last week where they had chosen to delay. Well, it seems that after the show, they delayed it, I guess, even further. I'm not quite sure. But
the following morning.
We announced it, and then they found a problem.
Is this
and
Artemis?
It appears to be.
Again.
It is the
Artemis
moon
2.
rocket. And they discovered there was a fuel leak, as I believe, again, Lithobreaker cited as to why they delayed something last time. And it's they're being careful with it. I mean, of course, they have to be. There's a lot of explosive substance in that thing. But yeah, they just seem to have had to stow it again. Who knows how long it's going to be until they get it fixed. I don't know how long it takes to fix something like that.
Well, if they can do it within a couple of days, then they'll still be able to make the same launch window. The launch window's about a week long, so it'll be the 6th to the 10th, 6th to the 13th of March.
That's pretty forgiving, isn't it?
Well, the moon goes around once a month, so
this is something I picked
for quite a while.
Picked up from that TV show. They were explaining about these launch windows, why you then had to wait for the moon to come round again in order to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
The right phase of the moon, so it wasn't flipping dark.
Yeah.
But they're not landing on it, they're going round it. But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It also makes a difference whether it's its closest or furthest approach, and it's a significant difference in the amount of fuel needed to get there. So
perigee and apogee and all those kind of important words.
They're the ones, yep.
Yeah. Oh dear. Well, boo, but yay. Okay, was it number 2?
But we can all take solace in the fact that Boeing did it worse.
Oh, yeah.
The Boeing launch, or the Starliner failure, has been described as one of the worst in its history, or NASA. So let me start again. NASA bosses say that Boeing's Starliner failure is one of the worst in its history. Now, considering that the history of NASA includes Apollo 13, that's a big
and the Challenger
statement.
disaster, and yes.
And the various loss of lives, and they're putting it up there in a similar bracket.
Yeah, it's a Category 1 disaster, or Category 4, whichever one it is, the worst one. And it's the worst it could possibly be without loss of life, basically.
Yes, I think what they describe in many sort of circles as a near miss.
Yeah.
I would definitely put this in a near miss.
They've done the full analysis of the capsule once it got back to the ground, and basically they're looking at it thinking, how did this get back to the ground?
Yes.
So much of it has failed. I mean, it had no spare thrusters instead of like 150% more thrusters than it was meant to need. And the ones it did have were all on the same side, so it was a miracle it could steer and this kind of thing. It was incredibly lucky that all of the stuff that it actually had to do to steer itself down to the ground were the only things it was able to do. And if there'd been 2 people on board, it may not have made it back. That might have been enough of a difference to the flight dynamics, and that would have been worse. So it was definitely the right call to get them a taxi home.
Yeah, and you're right, Aidan. Sorry, the Mercury issues as well. There's a very powerful audio track from Public Service Broadcasting. If nobody's heard, they for anybody who doesn't know, Public Service Broadcasting are a British band that made various music tracks using historical events, and they did one on the space race. Excellent album, and tells a lot of the stories really well. And they have a track around the Mercury disaster, and it is haunting. They do those kind of haunting tracks very, very well. They did a similar one at the end of the album for Amelia Earhart, where she obviously goes missing, and the kind of desperation in they had to use a voice actor for Amelia Earhart, but the desperation in her voice builds through the track. And it's so haunting and disturbing in the way that they've done it that my kids refuse to listen to it because it makes them sad and feel uncomfortable inside. So it kind of gives you an idea of how very
it is art.
They are. They
Yeah.
are incredibly good artists, absolutely. But I'm
And
going
the
to see
Spitfire,
them
the
soon.
Spitfire one with the sound. If you're listening to it on a big stereo system, and the noise of that Spitfire flying overhead, with was it Richard Burton's voice over that one from the?
It was from the film
Yeah.
that I still
I
haven't
think it's Richard
seen.
Burton. But his voice and then the noise of the Spitfire engine flying over you on a big stereo system. My goodness.
Truthfully, I have wondered a few times whether it is genuinely a Spitfire or actually a Griffin engine. Technically not the same aircraft, but I haven't been able to quite work it out.
That was a Spitfire engine, yes. It used in the recording.
Supercharged, but anywho, it matters not. So yeah,
I don't remember anything in Mercury.
That was a
going
Merlin.
that
Anyway, it was
badly.
a Merlin engine, the Rolls-Royce Merlin that they used in the actual audio for that one. Having in my dim and distant past.
what am I thinking of then? I'm thinking of the oxygen-filled cabin going pop.
Oh no, that noise that noise flying over on the Spitfire one is definitely a Merlin, without question. Mainly because I have seen a Merlin engine on test rig because many years ago, my ex-girlfriend, her father restored all the engines to the Battle of Britain Memorial flight, and he was the specialist in the UK on the Merlin engines. And I used to go down to their workshop and hear them firing up and putting them on test rigs, and then being flown over me. And oh my goodness, that was definitely a Merlin engine.
We might have met the same test pilot. Who knows?
Yeah, possibly. This was many years ago, probably when you were in short shorts still. Okay, so that was
You're thinking of Apollo 1.
Oh, possibly, yes. When they did the simulated launch and the... Yeah. I'm not sure in which case which Arden is thinking of, or even I've done that twice now.
Right.
I mean, we've had some scary bits, but no disasters.
Talking of scary things that weren't disasters, the next article. Now, this one might go wrong due to the... NASA has actually revealed the details of the medical incident.
Well, this is the thing. That was a false headline. They haven't technically told us what the medical issue was, but they have told us a bit more about how they dealt with it.
They said who? They said who?
This is also true. I thought that had been revealed, but the astronaut in question says, thanks to the quick response and guidance of our NASA flight surgeons, my status quickly stabilized. Now, that doesn't give us any detail as to what they had to do or why they needed to do it, but overall, it kind of shows just how well trained these people are. Like, to be able to... I've worked in places where you're having to diagnose a fault on a vehicle remotely over the telephone. To try and fault find a person is a whole different level.
From that far away, yes.
Yeah, not only is it far away, it's I don't know what the radio.
You can't exactly tell them
to
call 111 or pop down to their GP, can you?
Can you just turn it off and on again?
Yes. Can we just
it's
reboot?
A person.
Mike Fink, yes.
Yeah. Off you can do. On a bit more difficult.
Not so much. But I just thought it was really interesting how how the different phrasings, even with the same article, have come across. It was the quick response and guidance, and it sort of makes it sound like it was a urgent medical event. And then further down, it was not an emergency, but a carefully coordinated plan.
Yeah, that was the return. The incident happened. They got him stabilized using the people on the station and flight surgeons on the ground. Once he was stabilized, they assessed him and decided that rather than everybody in the capsule you're leaving within the next 20 minutes, it was let's plan it out, check the landing positions, check what the weather forecasts are, and get you home at the next convenient moment rather than in 4 months' time.
Yeah, you don't want to introduce more risk into these things.
Yeah.
If
they hadn't been able to stabilize him, they would have been home in about 3 hours instead of about 4 days. So.
I mean, from personal experience, when I was over in Kenya, having taken the father-in-law over there, and we had a medical emergency on the third day while we're over there. It's one of these ones where I was well prepared for the potential ones he might have. Obviously, there were ones we didn't know about, but the seizures and whatever else, fully prepared for it. And I know what's going on here. Here's the plan. This is what we're going to do. And because it was all planned out in advance, what am I going to do if he does this, even though I'm in a foreign country, nowhere near a hospital or the NHS or whatever? It became a very easy thing to manage, even though it was quite distressing at the time, because it was all planned out. And we'd catered for it, and we'd written down exactly what we were going to do. It just went incredibly smoothly, and then he got better. Local doctor came out, checked him out, and went, "You've done everything perfectly. It's all good. Put him in bed for 24 hours, and keep an eye on it." So planning in advance, in the small way that we had in the last few weeks, gives you confidence when you're dealing with it. To the extent there were a couple of paramedics there who basically said, "We're here if you need us, but you've got this." And it was quite reassuring, for two paramedics to say, "We saw what you were doing. It looks absolutely perfect, but if you need us, we're here. We're going to step back." Was very reassuring. But planning like that, so you know what the potential medical emergencies are, and you've got it down absolutely pat. It means you don't panic. You don't call for an ambulance. You don't if you don't need to. Everything works perfectly, and in a small way, that kind of level of planning really, really helps in these kind of emergencies. Right, we're not going to make this worse. We're just going to work through it, and it's an interesting experience. You've still got the adrenaline rush of, oh my goodness, there's a panic going on, but you know what the plan is, and it was quite an interesting experience, albeit not great, but an interesting experience to go through one where it was all planned out in advance. If this happened, if you know what I mean.
When the full kudos to you for arranging that. That was incredible to what you've been doing. For anyone who didn't know, a lot of the crew have been getting almost not quite to the minute updates, but it was a lot.
It was did
well.
Getting an 81-year-old very infirm man over to a foreign country like that with a huge drive and all sorts involved,
and back again
safely,
not in a box.
and scattering the mother-in-law's ashes and all those kind of things. No, it was their wishes. And as kids, your parents look after you. Albeit this is father-in-law, but your parents look after you when you're young, and it's, in my view, your responsibility when you get older to look after them. But I'm digressing from what we're talking about, space news. But it's what you do, isn't it, for your parents? But planning properly means you can just step in and go, "I got this," and afterwards it felt quite good to know that we'd considered it, planned it, written it down, and delivered it. And this is what they did on this trip here. They clearly knew the potential scope of these are the list of things that could go wrong. And, the gentleman involved had one of them go wrong, and they obviously just opened the manual and went, right, let's work through it, which they did. And
I'm
got him home safely.
Super curious to know what it was, though. We're never going to find out, but I really want to know.
I would put reasonable 20 or 30 years.
Yeah, I put reasonable money on it being Dicky Ticker related in some way. I would put reasonable a wager on that one. Not non-critical, but anyway, right. Next one then. Things for Amelia to miss. Amelia?
Indeed.
Yes.
No, I can't see this one.
Did you miss this one yet, or has it not happened yet?
Which one?
The next one.
The stars, or
how
rather
to see
the planets.
6 planets in the sky at once. Oh, I'm going to enjoy missing that one.
I like how that's how it is now. Just
not to scale image,
Also, they can't count to 6.
That's true.
Yes. You mean apart from the two that are inside us as well, Yeah.
Well, I guess technically Earth you can see by just looking down, so that one's not so hard.
You can see the horizon plus them. So this is one of those what is it in fantasy novels? They use it for like magic. More magic happens.
The Great Conjunction.
Great Conjunction when all the planets line up and bullshit.
Cthulhu
it
will
was
be back.
in Tomb Raider as well, wasn't it? It was.
It's been in everything. Yeah, Cradle of Life, the second movie.
Well, it's all the planets except Mars.
What's Mars doing?
Mars.
Why can't he be in with it?
Billy No Mates Mars has decided to bugger off into the other side of the planet.
He's working, resting, and playing.
Yes.
Well, it is meant to be the god of war. We don't expect it to.
Yeah, the others aren't talking to him.
So if you think about the sums involved, so Mercury is 88 Earth days to circle the Sun. Neptune is 165 Earth years. But then obviously it hasn't moved that far in the, you know what I mean, in the last 88 days or whatever. But getting them all lined up like that, I don't know what the maths are. Valkyrius probably could work out for us what the likelihood is of the frequency that they'd all be lined up.
Technically, while Neptune might be aligned with them all, he's definitely not facing the same way.
In the integer sense, it's what you call a lowest common multiple.
It is, yes.
Yeah.
But in terms of one of the planets that takes 165 years to orbit the sun, you know, I think they're all lining up with it. Would be the best description, because that's not really moved very much, and they're all catching up with it.
I think the phrase is "keep up, Grandpa."
Yes, well, not that you can see that one unless you're using a telescope, but the visible ones you definitely see 3 of them. No, 2. You'd see Jupiter and Saturn. Yeah, you'd see visible. You'd see Mercury. Yeah, you'd see 3 or 4 of them. Yes, with the naked eye. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
There we go. Mercury and Venus low on the western horizon. Saturn and Neptune just above them, and Uranus and Jupiter relatively close to the full moon. Well, you won't see Uranus, but you'll see Jupiter, Saturn, Mercury, Venus. You'll see 4 of them with the naked eye, approximately.
Yeah.
Yes.
Uranus and Neptune, if you've got a telescope.
Yeah. But
or decent binoculars.
When is the question? When is Amelia going to miss this?
Oh, don't ask sensible questions.
1st of March.
1st of March. Amelia.
So Saturday night, Saturday night, Sunday morning.
I mean, you could see it, Amelia. Why not? What are you doing?
It's where I live. There's a perpetual black cloud.
I kind of have a very cartoonistic cloud floating over your head.
Well, I mean, you'll be glad to know that. Hang on a second. It is going to be clear with a bit cloudy.
So the cloud's going to be
over his house.
7 p.m. cloudy, 8 p.m. cloudy, 9 p.m. cloudy. Okay, it's going to be cloudy.
So nobody's going to see it.
There's a reason I nicknamed where I live the arsehole of the universe. I mean, what time is it? Oh, it's after 9, so it's fine. And we live in the suburbs, so technically we're in the matted hair around the arsehole of the universe.
So it's the arsehole of the universe, and you can't see Uranus from there.
Uranus.
We had to squeeze one Uranus joke in. Yes. Anyway.
Yeah.
The Great Alignment. There we go. It says Commander Aiden is what it was called in the first film, apparently, in response to your earlier question. Okay, well, thank you very much. That is our space news. So I better poke the button. Hang on.
Well, doesn't that depend on what film?
Oh, no.
Tomb Raider.
Ah.
And he's quite correct. It was the first, not the second. I was misremembering.
All right. Because in The Dark Crystal, they called it The Great Conjunction.
It's a bit of a guilty pleasure, that film, in my mind.
What, Tomb Raider?
Yeah. It's so bad, but I still enjoy watching it.
That's quite good.
Angelina Jolie? She kicks bottom.
She's got enormous lips.
Yeah. She's got enormous lips as well, especially in the scene when she's getting out of the shower.
There's a reason she was cast as Tomb Raider.
Yeah, she
we're lowering the
very well.
Yes. Yeah, right.
Great.
And it's got excellent other supporting cast, such as Arnold Rimmer.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. He's the butler.
Well, actually, talking of Arnold Rimmer, there's some bad news this evening.
Oh yeah,
which we sometimes So. Yeah, I mean, we are obviously all fans of Red Dwarf. I mean, we've had Norman come and join us. Two events now. But there was the news came through in the last 24 hours that one of the co-creators of Red Dwarf, Rob Grant, has passed away at the age of 70. A bit of a shock as well. Hadn't been unwell, whatever else, and he was actually recently publishing a book prequel to Red Dwarf, and yes, unfortunately, the very sad news that in the last 24 hours, he has passed away, unfortunately, and lots of
he's moved on to Silicon Heaven.
Yes. Lots of his, the cast of Red Dwarf and everybody have been putting some lovely comments up over on the various, X's and Reddits and whatever else. Sad news. I mean, how many of us sort of, grew up with Red Dwarf? Our introduction to really badly produced, slightly broken, space-related shows.
To be
factually
fair,
accurate, totally concise, consistent.
To be fair, Red Dwarf always had the budget of a sitcom, because obviously that's what it was. It was a sitcom, and they only ever got the budget of shows such as Dinner Ladies. So they did a lot with it.
No. Dinner Ladies had a much higher budget than Red Dwarf, I think.
Commander Aiden says there's no such thing as Silicon Heaven, but then where would all the toasters go?
Well, calculators. Yes, especially after they get... Anyway,
I wonder if he asked at the pearly gates if he wanted any toast.
Yes. Anyway, sad news, and it's bad because it also means that the likelihood of... Red Dwarf, it did run its run, and I know they've resurrected it numerous times, but definitely a bit of a coda on things like Red Dwarf, and the likelihood of anything from a writer that good. I mean, obviously he was one of two collaborators on the original scripts, etc. But sad news, and obviously thoughts go out to his friends and family and colleagues, whatever else. A bit of a shock. Relatively young man at 70. So Grant Naylor Productions, wasn't it? That was the company behind Red Dwarf. Yeah. So bad news. I suppose such is life, etc. But we're all space fans, and Red Dwarf is. There are a few episodes that actually make me laugh so much I'm very close to pooing myself in places. Backwards being one. Backwards definitely being one. Yep. And the concept of the Gelf episodes and all sorts. And what was the one with the punishment zone where whatever you do to somebody else happens back to you?
Justice World.
Justice World. That's the one. Oh my goodness! When he's hitting him with a spade and flower pots and things.
He's handing him the weapons.
Yes, genuine brilliance to come up with that kind of thing. So a brilliant mind. Okay, now what do we have next in the script?
Do we have a word of the week?
Oh, look, I've punished him enough. I have punished him enough this week.
But no, there was no word of the week, so I filled it in, so I got to choose it, so I can know that I can say it this week. So yes, we have a word of the week.
Oh wow, what is the word of the week?
It's pseudo-hyperparathyroidism.
Pseudo-hyperparathyroidism? What does that mean?
It's really not very exciting. It's a genetic disorder that mimics symptoms, but not the consequence of pseudo-hypothyroidism.
You mean pseudo-hypoparathyroidism? I was going to say, you mean pseudo-hypoparathyroidism.
You are correct. Important in the study of genetics and metabolic diseases. I don't know what that means. Don't ask me to explain it either.
Oh, right. Okay, I won't. But can you use it in a sentence, please?
Yes, in the rapidly devised one that I made about 30 seconds ago. Floor mopping guy has been heard to say that after learning about his pseudo-hyperparathyroidism, he decided to stick with simpler terms like, I'm too lazy to pronounce that on a date and just say, I shave my eyebrows.
Great.
There you go.
And on that
wasn't what you were expecting, was it?
Definitely not.
We need something wholly less intellectual, like a really good quiz or something. How are we on quizzes this week?
If you'd like one, it is
we can. Have we actually got the magic machine working this week?
What machine's that?
The magic machine for getting the bongs right. I mean, the countdowns right.
No. I mean, there's litho. Litho's kind of magical sometimes.
Ooh, that's what Mrs. Lithos says.
How did
Like
you keep a
fake
straight
praise.
face when you said that?
Just give him the fiver and don't mention it any further. Right, so go on then, introduce it, and I will get the presenter view lined up.
And I will put the thing
that's
out.
I'm typing. Do.
That was the thing I kind of forgot to do, was make a proper intro for it.
Oh,
But
there's a
Oh,
quiz
just
today.
Wing it.
Well, welcome to this show's quiz, which everyone's welcome to join over at quiz.iniv.space in a browser window or on the side with a mobile device. This week, instead of the small ships, we're going away from small ships, such as the new Core Dynamics Kestrel Mark II, to megaships. That's megaships of all types. So you've got the usual dockable ones, you've got the capital class warships. And of course, as usual, everyone listening live is very welcome to join over at quiz.iniv.space now or at any time during the quiz to join in.
But if you don't join at the start, you're never going to win. So you need to do it now.
It's
really,
not
let's be
about the
honest.
winning.
Yes.
The profit margins never really matter at all.
And yes, always, and remember, yes, always take a guess if you don't know, and always click post.
This is basic quiz 101. Come on, guys.
Have you found
Should have learned this by now.
Studio What's It? Have you found the Studio One presenter view?
I have indeed.
Well, take it away.
Everyone's still filing in. I've got to approve the names, otherwise they won't.
Otherwise, everybody's called boobs for some reason.
Yes.
There's a very good reason, not just for some.
I don't know what the
People
reason
like
is.
them.
Yeah, boobs are great.
Yes, I might as well, but I also don't feel the need to name my children that either. There's a limit, a time and a place, as you will.
Oh, you're missing out.
Okay, I think everyone's in. So,
Thank you.
Got it to move.
round one. And this is all.
In 10 seconds.
This is about megaships used during the Thargoid War. Question 1. How many of the 11 Aegis rescue megaships were destroyed in the Battle for Sol?
Oh, I mean,
I
if you
can
know this
see-
one.
I can see from the very first question, these are going to be guesses on my part.
Mm-hmm.
All of them.
Detonation in 10 seconds.
Hit the button. Hit the
Wasn't
button.
much time?
No.
How long did it take to make up a number?
You've only got 11 to choose from.
Technically 12, it could have been 0.
I'm trying to think how many were left afterwards.
No, because there were some left over. That was
There
definitely
were,
true.
yes.
Apparently, it's the next question. At which megaship was Seo Jin-I hiding out? Is it the Acropolis, the Adamastor, the Dedicant, the Kingfisher, the Indra, the Orenmiller, or
But
the
it's a free
Vanguard?
text box. Oh.
Is it meant to be a pull down?
Oh, bollocks. Hold on.
It's just,
That's the first time I think I've heard Valkyria swear.
quick.
No
Seamless.
Seamless.
Hang on, I think we've got the
more
elevator
accurately
music
in
for
this
this. haven't we?
case.
There you go. Yeah, I put. There's a thing for putting all the answers, and I put the question in there, like I copy and paste, screwed up. There you go.
It
You've
makes
got
no
your-
difference. I don't know the answer.
still don't
anyway.
know.
I mean, it won't make a difference to my.
Oh,
Definitely
Amelia,
doesn't
don't
make a
forget to press
difference.
post. Just saying.
I don't know.
In 10 seconds.
Vicky Choosy, fun times.
It's not that one, but I'm picking it anyway.
You missed the B arc off it.
Question
Excuse me.
3.
That's our megaship, that is.
I know, right?
Question 3. What was the purpose of the Musashi megaship? Was it exploration, flight operations, military, rescue, tech broker, or Xeno research?
Mushashi.
Musashi.
It sounds delicious.
It sounds like a sushi.
What's the difference between... okay, no, it could be that one.
Now I'm hungry.
My kids
me
have asked
too.
for sushi this weekend. I'm like, effort.
We've got a great sushi bar inside the Sainsbury's near here.
Yeah,
It's the same in every Sainsbury's anywhere, isn't it?
Not always. I've seen quite a few that don't have, but yeah.
We don't have one
But
in
the
our
Musashi was the
Sainsbury's.
one. It was around when the Proteus wave crap was going on.
Isn't Musashi some kind of eel?
Detonation in 10 seconds.
That would
no, that's
kind of
unagi.
fit, wouldn't it? Oh,
Well, Musashi wasn't he a Japanese swordsman?
No, that was Kendo.
No. Yeah, that was the samurai. Anyway,
Sam who?
I've never heard of him either.
It was a
Yes,
Japanese
we
swordsman.
have.
Yes.
It was 7 were destroyed. So the lost ships were the Federal Haven and rescue ships Birchinger, Fürster, Kisai, Cavill, Yoshida, and Seagull.
Why has 8 got points then?
Because it was really close. I gave 1 point for.
Okay.
yay! Thank
that's-
you. That was mine. I was trying to remember it from the number of ships that were still around Seoul that we were
Yeah.
able to evacuate to, and
Yeah,
I.
I
That's
got
how I
that.
worked it out.
I couldn't remember
I
if it was
got
3
that
or
correct.
4.
I got that
I didn't
right.
have a clue, so...
I didn't have a clue either. I still got it right.
Well done, Amelia. So Sea Junai is heading out on the Oran Miller in the Duamta system. So the Kingfisher, that was the Thargoid Advocacy Project's attempt to parley with the incoming Titans. It didn't
Yeah,
go
but I
very
thought
well.
the COGNA was involved in trying to talk to them through, I don't know, psychic means or I couldn't remember.
Well, the person who had the brain implant, where's she gone?
It was presumably still on the Oran Miller in Duamta, which is literally still there. Yeah, so that was Azimuth who'd modified CO to have hive mind access to the Thargoids, but that didn't require a megaship. The Kingfisher was the attempt to hail the incoming Titans and make peace, but it got destroyed. The Adamastor was an abandoned Azimuth megaship which was found drifting out of the Coalsack Nebula and got towed back to some orbit somewhere. The Indra was a flight operations megaship used as a forward base in the war. And the Dedicant was something that got stolen by those. It was the cult. It was the Fargod cult. Or at least they were accused of it. In any case, it was the Oran Miller. And the Musashi was for a tech broker. So the Musashi megaship, it's owned by Azimuth Biotech, and it sells the special Azimuth Biotech AX multi-cannon. There was a
We all
community
knew that
goal.
one. Really?
There was a community goal at it, but it is for the Azimuth tech broker. Round 2 is Imperial vessels, large ones that is.
Oh no.
How many Majestic class capital ships are in the Imperial
Does it take
fleet?
to change a light bulb?
I've lost my screen. Oh, there we go. There we go.
Approximately how many Majestic class are in the Imperial fleet?
Well, there's an awful lot because they turn up all over the place, and it's the same one flying around a lot.
Well, they've got a 500 light year jump range.
And there's the ones at the docking, and then you can blow some up.
Not the ones under construction. So this refers to ones where the names have been identified. So they've actually got in like separate names.
I am
Oh,
hunting
sorry.
a guess.
Ideally, whoever says quite a lot could put a guess. I don't really know what to do when people say quite a lot.
It depends. If you think it's quite a lot, give them a point. If you don't think it's very many, don't give them a point. If you
Yeah,
think it's not enough, which you probably do, then don't give them a point.
The usual loophole.
In 10 seconds.
I actually put in a number because I'm boring.
Question 2. Which megaship is parked at Akinar? And
Which
do you
megaship?
have options? Yes. Is it Fairfax Vision, Glorious Destiny, Imperial Sanctum, Onyx Storm, Prelude to Victory, Sapphire Lance, or the House Ascendant?
God,
I'm guessing. I haven't been to Akinar in a long, long time.
it's not.
I think I've only been once in Elite Dangerous. Used to hang out there
I don't think
quite
I've
a
got
lot in
permission.
Frontier First Encounters, but
Detonation in 10 seconds.
Oh no, the one I thought it was isn't actually in the list. I was good with that one.
Are you Googling?
Hopefully not. You should be using AI to cheat if you're going to do that. Question 3. Whose megaship was Imperial Navy vessel Audacious Dream? Did it belong to Aisling Duval, Anders Blaine, Arissa Lavinia Duval, Denton Petraeus, Hadrian Augustus Duval, Lucius Lavingi, or Zemina Torval?
yes.
It's bad of me to say that it sounds quite an effeminate name.
Audacious.
Well, that's
Dream.
just
It would be very
sexist.
audacious of you.
Who the heck
See what
is
you did
Anders
there.
Blaine?
Anders Blaine is the Chancellor of the Imperial Senate.
That's the only name I don't know there.
Doesn't mean he doesn't own a ship.
You're a ship.
Oh dear. Yeah, I was thinking it was about time.
We've stooped that low. I like how
Huh?
I like how we got to hear a few little
I
explosions
think I've
before
just
the
done
big
so,
one that time.
so bad on that round.
So there are approximately 67 known Majestics commissioned. There are 71 known, but a few have been lost to Thargoid attacks. So the points for the closest answer there.
Okay.
Yep. At Akinar is Fairfax Vision, which isn't actually an Imperial ship. It's owned by the Free Marlinists.
It's one of those things we all knew, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The house
Clearly.
the House Ascendant is parked at 21 Eridani and is owned by Torval Mining. The Onyx Storm is parked in Summerland, which is the other permit lock system for the Imperial Rep. Imperial Sanctum is actually one of the rescue megaships. That's parked at Hicks Karamu. And Prelude to Victory is in Eurybia. That's owned by the Empire League, who tried to arrest Liz Ryder for questioning over the NMLA starport bombing. So there you go. And the Audacious Dream belongs to Arissa Lavinia Duval.
I got one.
Um,
I mean, I was going with Duval. It did sound like a Duval kind of thing, and it was a bit of a choice.
Well, Duval's were the most popular answer on the board.
I was going to say, if you said Duval, there's at least 3 options, more
Yeah.
than half.
Although that got destroyed by Thargoids, so. In HIP 22460. Right, in any case. Round 3 is kind of just other, really, although the first question is also another how many question. Question 1. How many large landing pads are on a standard Wells-class megaship?
Oh, I can't picture what that
I am
class
guessing.
is.
Is it one of the really fat, one of the really fat ones with like big wings on the side?
No, that's the Javelin.
Is it? Okay, well that helps.
I am Googling, but I just need to see a picture of it for my brain's sake.
So you can count them
That one.
and see the specs in the text
I'm not going to have
inside of
time
it.
to count them in 10 seconds.
It's not the big one.
Cheating.
See,
It looks like it's very similar to the one that to the Gnosis.
See, I was considering putting a picture of the Wells class, but I thought, well, but what if it shows the landing pads?
You could have put little black boxes over them to censor them out. You know, one for each, so that you couldn't see them
Redacted.
behind and count them. You
And
don't,
the rest
you don't
of
want to
the-
redact them. If
Well,
you
Flossy
redact
will
them,
know,
people might
because the
think
Flossy
it was an Epstein
isn't the
ship.
Wells class used for community goals?
Pass.
Isn't it
Usually
a
it
Wells
is, yes.
class that's on community
it's
goals? Yeah.
Yeah, it was it? Yeah. Ones
Um,
that used to be used, not the recent ones.
Yeah, it wasn't used for the evacuation ones, but it was used on CG. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's time.
Yeah.
What's also interesting is
Yes,
the
I might
Wells
go
class
right.
ship is something from Star Trek, I believe. Star Trek Legacy.
Question 2. Who owns the Gnosis?
Yeah. I nearly gave the answer away to that one. Just
I'm gonna put in something. It's definitely wrong, but I can't resist.
oh, what's his?
Detonation in 10 seconds.
Question 3. Do you own a Drake class fleet carrier?
But like a duck. Seemingly one of my kids' favourite books is The Snake and the Drake. And I have to read it like that for some reason.
Could be worse. It could be the duck and the. Well, maybe it's not that. Something like this.
That very well-known children's book.
Hey, some of the things you get in children's books are quite disturbing. There's an absolute cracker about a Christmas disaster. It's an American book, but it's about a Christmas disaster where there's a major snowstorm and Santa can't get to the school to deliver all of the presents. But thankfully, a handy little tow truck and a handy little snowplow are able to save the day. So hookers the tow truck and blow the snowplow, save Christmas. Hookers and blow save Christmas. Genuine children's book.
There it is.
I'm totally buying that book.
Go on then.
In 10 seconds.
We have. The Wells class has one large landing pad. 2 was a close answer. So it
Oh,
gets a
I
point.
went with how many total landing pads. I was totting the bastard up. I should read the question, shouldn't I?
Only one, because the people was going mad at all the
No, I
same
knew it was one, but I've misread the bloody question. Oh.
Question 2. The Gnosis is owned by Canon or Canon Interstellar or Canon Research or all sorts
Oh,
of various
I
things.
can't believe you didn't give my answer points.
Well, I see. Conceivably, LCU does.
If you
by
can say
proxy own
LCU
it, but how
owns
do-
it, then LCU's mum might also own it.
But is LCU's mum part of canon?
Probably.
We don't know.
We just don't know. Is it? Does it get a? Okay, everyone who's not 21, does that get a point?
Yes.
LCU's mum, put it this way, he does what he's told. So, yes.
There you go.
Yay.
And question 3. We have most people don't. A few people do. There you go. Again, I may have combined a few answers there.
We all got it right. Points for everybody. Woohoo! Yay!
Oh, yeah.
The only points I'm getting.
Speaking of those, let's see how everyone did. We have at joint first, we have Mooncake's Suspicious Lick, a grey bucket, and a Flossy.
Flipping heck.
Mooncake suspiciously.
How did I do that?
Well, you know when the cat decides it's going to groom itself and then looks at you sideways and stops, you know?
It depends on which bit it's grooming, and is it just before it gives you a kiss?
But, well done, everyone.
I got more points than I expected there.
Woohoo! Well, that was a Cubicle 3 worthy score, says Kesnick.
Opposite what I normally do.
Kesnick, you beat me.
But Ooby Doop, Scooby Dooby Banooby did reasonably well, yes.
Yeah, that's me.
One point off the lead.
Right.
I'm surprised I got that much because I was just guessing throughout the whole thing.
I did a lot of guessing.
No, well, I mean, other than the ones where do you own a Drake class? That was easy points.
I'm not even sure I got all of those right.
Right. It's now time to go over to, thank you very much, Volcarius, to Flossy, because we might actually have some CG news this week, possibly. Should we go check? Yes. Okay.
Yes, we have.
When
don't give it away.
Universe is in trouble. Bug infestations in the bubble. Your home station's burned rubble. What on earth can we do now? Interstellar initiatives. Let Flossy tell you what it is. Then you can get involved with this. You should listen to what Flossy says. Interstellar initiatives. Flossy tells us what she thinks it is. Then you can get involved with this. Now you should listen to what Flossy says.
Hello, Flossy here with this week's CG News. Yes, we have a CG this week, which started on Tuesday the 24th of February. It's Core Dynamics Combat Initiative. To test the new Kestrel's combat capabilities, Core Dynamics has called for independent pilots to help test the new fighter in combat situations in and around Duamta. Pilots can support this initiative by first signing up at any station with the mission board, and then complete any combat missions accepted from any station's mission board within Duamta or within a 15 light-year range of the system. To contribute, combat missions must be completed and handed in at the mission board. The highest possible credit reward for that mission will count as the contribution, regardless of which reward was actually taken. Pilots who register at least one contribution will receive the following rewards: Kestrel Mark II Vapor White paint job, Core Dynamics decal, and credits depending on success tier achieved and individual contribution level. Pilots in the top 75% and above of contributions will also receive one fully engineered C-rated kill warrant scanner with fast scan and long-range modifications. Any ship may be used as part of this initiative. The campaign began on the 24th of February and will run for 2 weeks. Possibly. To earn rewards, you must sign up as an active participant before engaging in combat missions accepted from mission boards in Banter or any other system within 15 light years. And that's it for this week's CG News.
Flossy told you what to do.
Well, thank you very much, Flossy. Nice to have them back.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
Do we know any updates on how it's going so far in the first 24 hours?
Well, it started Tuesday, and at the moment, it's not likely to last the weekend unless we have a bit of hand waving tomorrow.
They're about tier 3 already or something, aren't they?
Yeah, getting on for tier 3 when I looked this morning anyway.
Yeah, so 438 billion or something
Yeah.
contributed already.
And it's projected to finish in a couple of days at the
Yeah,
moment.
2 days, 15 hours and 33 minutes at the moment, I think.
Yeah.
But obviously even more now that you've broadcast details of it on Hutton Orbital Radio, the
Of course,
Galaxy's
yes.
best Thursday 8:30 p.m. starting radio show on this channel.
Well,
Yes.
8:30-ish.
Ish. I was a couple of minutes late this time, but okay. Well, we don't have a Galnet News Digest this evening because what was it? The description that Commander Wotherspoon said he is going to
Call the 5th.
Oh yes, that's the one.
He has decided to exercise his right to remain silent.
Yes.
Isn't that an American thing?
Yeah, that'd be an American holiday, Walt.
He was in the Federation
yes.
space at the time.
Ah,
Okay, so we're coming towards the end of the show. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you very much to the ECM community who came and joined us very briefly to find out that it was all live and everybody's been booking. I can confidently tell you, shall I have a look to see whether anybody's actually coming to the event so far? What percentage we are sold out? Let's have a look.
There are 3 of us. Yay!
No, there's more than 3 of you.
I'm going to
ECM
say
2026.
30 people.
Oh no, it might be more than that.
Really?
Yeah, it might be more than that already. Let's have a look.
50?
So do some totting up. Oh dear, somebody's managed to mess it up already.
Was it me again?
Well, they've booked for 1 person, guest 1, but 2 names, and I know that both of them aren't them. Who did that? Silly sod. Okay, well, I
Depending
might have
on who
to.
it is, either definitely don't or definitely do name and shame.
Well,
Your choice.
but apparently they've forgotten to book person 1 in themselves, but they have booked their guest in person 2.
Okay, but they've only paid for 1 ticket.
Yes.
Cheaper half the price.
Yeah, no, we comfortably. Oh, the first 30 have gone already.
Nice.
I said 30.
Yeah, I'm just double
Yeah, but there's
checking.
more than that because one of them hasn't paid properly, so it's at least 31.
Or indeed 33. By the sounds of it, there was 2 names that weren't the person who listed themselves.
Hang on a second. There we go. Checking. Yeah, they're coming through. I'm just looking through the list of names. Oh, there's actually a new name on there.
A new person,
Somebody
brave.
who's not been before has managed to book on day 1. They're obviously that eager. Yeah. We have representatives of Auntie Ida, and we've got some cannons there, and some Hutton truckers, and maybe a Lavian, possibly.
Are they the category of canon that's well worth going because they're great to meet, or the category of canon that you should try and avoid going because they may sing?
Oh no, I haven't heard from anybody singing yet. No.
Oh, good.
Oh no, I mean there's enough mega ships between this lot as well to occupy most of Hutton too. Right, so it is traditional that we go and raid somebody. Now we've had a couple of bad weeks on this one because last week we raided somebody silent, and the week before we raided somebody who completely combat logged on us. So we're gonna have to try and find somebody else to raid this week at the end of the show. Should we let's have a bit of a look. Find somebody who's not. I'm going to have to send somebody out on a mission to find out. What have we got? We've got live people. Somebody refueling their carrier. Somebody on DW3.
They'll just be sitting on a fleet carrier watching it jump then.
I mean, there's a dude there with his face on screen. There is a kitten. Okay. Anybody got any particular? Castrol Mark II in action. CGPP open. Something. What do we think of this one? From Baba Fed. Sounds like a bad pun. They're flying the Castrol Mark. Can anybody check whether Baba_Fed is actually streaming? And
I can't find them on my list. Are they definitely English?
BABA_Fed. No, they're in German and English. No, okay, well, let's go English.
That's why they're not on my list.
Let's have a look.
Streaming is the case. I don't know if talking is the case though. They're in a wing of. They've got a full wing though.
I've got some distant worlds here. We've got Limited Wheeler, LTD_Wheeler. That's also in German, but it doesn't really matter.
So a good Guten Tag for to mug.
I'm trying to find somebody that's actually not going to combat log on us. In English, we've got some sadly space trucking. How about somebody who's sadly space trucking?
That sounds hopeful.
The real Lord Blackheart. Should we go and raid them?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, so what we're going to go and do is play the credits. You do need to read the credits. They've got important instructions in them, especially about how to make cookies. If you don't read them, then don't blame us. If your cookies are not as good as the cookies that we have here, even if they're virtual cookies, you do have to accept cookies if you are baking the cookies. Otherwise, you can't have the cookies. Other than that, we will be back next week, I expect. And we're going to be quiet again this evening. Is Mooncake sleeping?
Mooncake is sleeping.
Okay.
For the mug.
For the mug.
For the mug.
Hang around for the raid. Bye-bye.
No journey too long and no cargo too small. The profit margins never really mattered at all. We're gonna take the cargo where it's needed today. Super cruising all across the Milky Way. We'll take anything, anytime, anywhere. Loading up the T-9s to the brim with grace. For the mug, yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the mug, now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. For the mug. Flossy always seems to crash into the sun. Swivel likes the pilot on the Xbox One. Alvin at the front, you know he leads us well. Trucking across the galaxy, now everybody yell. For the mug, yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the mug, now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. For the mug, yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the mug, now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. Give me a launch pad that I can land on, and I'll give you my cargo and sing you my song. No part 22 light years to go. Cruising to Hutton, whoa, whoa, whoa. No journey too long and no cargo too small. The profit margins never really mattered at all. We're gonna take the cargo where it's needed today. Super cruising all across the Milky Way. We'll take anything, anytime, anywhere. So shout it out loud like you don't even care. For the mug, yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the mug, now everybody sing the Hutton
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the show. Everyone's buggered off now, so why don't you bugger off too?